Were 5,000 Scottish football fans who were following Glasgow Rangers. The last time Rangers supporters came south was in 1976, when they inflicted serious damage in and around Aston Villa's ground. This time, though, things went much more peacefully. The unlikely game they came to see was Rangers playing 3rd Division Chesterfield in an Anglo-Scottish cup tie. Yet such were the worries of both clubs and police that the Rangers manager made a personal appeal for a truce before the game. His retreat from the terraces was caused merely by over-enthusiasm. Both he and his players spent almost half an hour signing autographs and giving away souvenirs. Of course, if this goodwill gesture had failed, a big police operation had been laid on to keep control. Around 500 men had been brought in to protect the town and to ensure that the riots of 1976 were not repeated.
It's the first time we've been in England for quite a few years. Let's face it, we want to come back down to England and play. But we've got to show everybody, yourselves included, the TV people, the rest of the media, that we can't come down and behave ourselves.
And that's just what they did, with only 6 arrests all evening. The rain helped, and so too did the embarrassing performance of the Scottish Premier League club. Chesterfield's first goal came from a corner. And having fallen once for that simple tactic, the Rangers' defence promptly fell for it again. It was Phil Bonnyman's second goal. Ironically, he was a player discarded by Rangers 5 years ago. It might have been 3 when a Rangers player palmed the ball away from the goal, but the referee didn't spot it. But with the 3rd Division leaders carving up the Scottish defence, a 3rd goal was inevitable. It came in the second half from Ernie Moss. And on a night when Scottish football looked more like school soccer, the final irony. A penalty for Rangers, saved by John Turner. By this time, though, the Tartan army had quietly retreated to their coaches.
With the first leg score standing at 1-1, the visitors brought 5,000 fans to Saltergate for support. However, Rangers fell behind after just 15 minutes when their former apprentice Phil Bonnyman scored from a corner by Walker to put Chesterfield ahead. Just 2 minutes later, Bonnyman added a second when Rangers keeper McCloy stood motionless as Ridley supplied the opportunity to score. And a semi-final meeting with Bury was assured when Ernie Moss scored goal number 3 to the delight of the home supporters. So, victory for Chesterfield and a peaceful evening on the terraces at Saltergate. Alan Hardwick now reports.
The visitors to Saltergate were Bury, already trailing 2-1 after the first leg. Chesterfield scored the first goal of the evening after 20 minutes. Bury fought back in the second half and equalised after 65 minutes with a shot from Steve Johnson. Chesterfield held on, though, to win 3-2 on aggregate, and they'll meet...
A 1-goal lead to Notts County for the second leg of last ever Anglo-Scottish Cup final. County took the lead and only a goal by Alan Crawford deep into extra time saved Chesterfield. They won 2-1 on aggregate and celebrated the club's first major trophy in its entire history. Chesterfield manager Frank Barlow reflected on the win.
Oh, delighted. I'm proud of the players as well, but certainly the result what we wanted, because if you enter a competition, you enter it to win it. And it was very, very difficult tonight, wasn't it?
Did you come here, though, believing that you could win it?
You've got to come believing you can win it. We go wherever we go, we believe we can. Sometimes we don't always fulfil that belief. And tonight we had a wee bit of a struggle, but in the end we got there.
Time bringing Chesterfield the Anglo-Scottish Cup. A 2-1 aggregate win over Notts County, and a happy Bill Green just after receiving that cup from Bob Lord. But the game was a personal triumph for 19-year-old goalkeeper Paul Gregory, called up at the last moment for his first-team debut, and he made a series of fine saves. And so it was a jubilant Chesterfield team in the dressing room after the game, the club's first national trophy in their 115-year history, and especially satisfying for a manager in his first season, Frank Barlow. And it looks as though Chesterfield may have to be content with the Anglo-Scottish Cup for this season's work. The trophy displayed at Saltergate by the players prior to last Saturday's game against Fulham. But now, unless they hit a really rich vein of form in their last 6 games and others stumble, it looks as though it will be another disappointment in the promotion race for Chesterfield, who tomorrow are away at Brentford.
Hundreds of Rangers supporters have arrived here since yesterday. At lunchtime today, there was little sign of them in the streets. The fans' disappearance could have been due to the fact that nearly every town centre pub had closed its doors. The lull in activity was expected to be purely temporary, since by 6:30 at least 5,000 fans will have come into town in 40 coaches, 150 mini coaches, nearly 200 cars and a special train. Are you going to behave yourselves?
Yes. Come to enjoy yourself. Don't want no trouble, like, you know, but we've got past yesterday, haven't we?
Obviously we thought we could win. I mean, I'd have settled for 1-0. I'd have settled for no score and win on the away goals. I'd have settled just to win the tie, but to win 3-0 really out of this game.